Did 80% of billionaires not go to college? I hope you didn't believe that lie. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. So this is episode 2 of my Stats Digest series, which we take a topic and break it down, looking at the statistics behind it, the history, and getting a deeper understanding beyond the surface level. I have one episode up which is on emergency fund. It is very interesting and I definitely recommend. But without further ado, let's get into this video. I remember hearing from a very young age that over 80% of billionaires didn't go to college. This is very interesting because if over 80% of billionaires did not go to college, why are we going to college? And the farther I dug into it, the more concerning that stats became, because not only is it not true, so I decided to do some digging. Where did this come from and what is the actual truth? So today we're going to be talking about billionaires. As unrelatable as that is, I think it's a very interesting topic. So let's get right into the stats of it all and find out, did 80% of billionaires really not go to college? Stay tuned to find out. Now, while a quick Google search would basically prove that 80% of billionaires not going to college is a total lie, we can start our research where we define what a billionaire is, or we find out the definition of who is considered a billionaire. According to Investopedia, the term billionaire refers to an individual with assets or a net worth of at least 1 billion currency units, or their native currency such as dollar, euros, or pounds. Billionaires are extremely rich, with assets ranging from cash to cash equivalents, real estate, as well as personal and business properties. For generations, we have been obsessed with the exclusive world of the rich and the elite. So of course, when Forbes started ranking the world's richest in 1987, the world became even more obsessed with such content. And ever since, we have been indulging in knowing who is rich, how much they have, and of course, do they really have that much money? Investopedia explains that to ensure that somebody is really a billionaire, we are subtracting liabilities from assets, resulting in an individual's net worth. So an individual's net worth does not mean that's the money they have in their bank account. It includes cash in their bank account, but it also includes real estate, vehicles, businesses, and other ventures. This means that to prove that somebody is actually a billionaire, it is not as simple as pulling out a bank statement, even though that is part of the process. And if they do have $1 billion in their bank account, great for them, but most people have to show the worth of their real estate properly evaluated, up to date. This really is the case of a small exclusive club where the only way you can get in is having material things worth up to $1 billion. And hey, I'm not hating. If I could get in, I will too. Back in 1987, when Forbes first published their list of the world's richest, it included 140 names. By 2021, this list has grown up to 2,755 billionaires across 70 countries, with a combined net worth of over $13 trillion. There are also billionaire families where their combined net worth of all the family members are over $1 billion, but individually they are not considered billionaires. So we will be leaving them out of this video and be focusing on individuals with a net worth of over $1 billion. Examples of famous billionaires includes Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and Alice Walton. As of the filming of this video, Elon Musk leads the path of the world's richest. So now that we know who a billionaire is, where are they? That's a good question. Let's find out. So as of 2022 and the filming of this video, there are a total of 3,311 billionaires across the world. In 2021, Forbes reported that the United States hosts the most billionaires at 724, but this number has grown to total 975 in 2022. Being broken down by countries, we can see in this chart that there are 975 in the United States as stated, 400 in China, 176 in Germany, 124 in India, 120 in UK, 114 in Hong Kong, 111 in Switzerland, 107 in Russia, 71 in Saudi Arabia, and 68 in France. This is not the total list of billionaires, but it is the top 10 countries with the most billionaires. We can also see their collective net worth, noting that the United States does have the highest among their billionaires at 4.45 trillion combined net worth. And the least in this top 10 goes to Saudi Arabia at a combined 192 billion. Something that I did note was that Elon Musk alone is worth more than all the billionaires in Saudi Arabia combined. Let that sink in. But these 10 countries should not be a surprise since they host some of the biggest economies in the world. Looking at this chart, we can see that 60% of the countries that were on the billionaire list are also on this economy list, noting that they have such big economies where they can support and produce billionaires. And I noticed once more that the United States and China was leading the pack. But I wanted to know even more. Let's look at the demographic, the world's demographic, as to which continents produce the most billionaires. With no surprise, North America takes the #1 spot with a total of 1,035 billionaires. Europe comes in at a close second at 954, Asia with 899, Middle East with 191, Latin America and the Caribbean at 146, Africa with 46, and the Pacific with 40 billionaires. But you might be asking, where are they specifically? Like, I need to get closer. Well, let's see the cities around the world that host the most billionaires. #1 is New York City, hosting 138 billionaires. Hong Kong comes in at a close second at 114 billionaires. San Francisco hosts 85, London hosts 77, Moscow hosts 75, Beijing has 63 billionaires, Los Angeles has 59, Singapore has 50, Shenzhen, which I hope I'm pronouncing it right, has 44 billionaires, and Mumbai has 40 billionaires. And as we know, these are not some random small cities in the middle of nowhere. These are big cities with big economies and leads the world in innovation. Now that we know where the billionaires are located, let's look more into who they are as people. Breaking it down into genders, 87.1% of billionaires are men, compared to 12.9% of them being women. And when comparing the average age at which both genders reached their billionaire status, men average 63 years and women average 60 years. I thought that was very interesting. Some noticeable billionaire females include Oprah Winfrey, Mackenzie Scott, and Alice Walton. When trying to find out the racial identities of billionaires, it's challenging. I did not see a specific research dedicated to it, but it is noticeable that most billionaires are white men. And out of all the 3,311 billionaires around the world, only 15 were identified to be Black, 9 of which are American and 2 women, Oprah Winfrey and Rihanna. That list could possibly be 14 now, since apparently Kanye West is no longer a billionaire. And there was also another billionaire on this list named Alex Kurb, but I later found out he wasn't actually Black, he was biracial, and I didn't see him identifying as Black, so now the list is down to 13. But I guess it could be back to 14 because apparently Diddy is now a billionaire. But right now I would say Black billionaires range anywhere from 13 to 15 total. See what will come up next, because this is just really early news. It takes a while for them to verify everything. There are 13 billionaires, possibly 14, maybe 15 if Alex Kurb identifies as Black. But then again, he is biracial. An interesting conversation that always comes up when we talk about billionaires is who is self-made and what is considered self-made, and how do you determine what is considered self-made. For example, if I start a business with a small loan of $1 million from my dad, would that be considered self-made if I grow it into $1 billion? Or is it because I did get an advantage to $1 million loan that most people in this world cannot even dream of, and most people will be denied from a bank from getting that loan? Am I self-made if I grow that into $1 billion? I found this interesting study by Forbes where they ranked 400 billionaires by how self-made they are. This ranged from 1 to 10. 1 meaning that they're barely self-made. They inherited most of their money, and 10 being that they worked very hard for it. They specifically said that on a score of 1 to 5 means that an individually inherited their wealth, while 6 to 10 indicates that they built their own company or established their fortune on their own. Looking at this chart, we can see how 400 billionaires ranked, and we can also tell that only those in category 9 and 10 did not come from at least an upper middle class family. So anybody 8 and above came from a very rich family compared to 9 and 10. And even for some billionaires who didn't come from extremely wealthy families, a lot of them were in a good situation where they could benefit from connections, different forms of nepotism, as well as general and educational opportunities that normal people would not have access to. But I am excited to get into this next part because this is where the research really started. Did 80% of billionaires not go to college? I hope you didn't believe that lie, because it's certainly not true. So all the information I got from my research supported that 100% of billionaires have at least a high school diploma. So with 100% high school diploma, only 2% never went to college, and only 16% of billionaires do not hold a college degree. And when we take away the 2% who never went to college, it shows that 14% of billionaires were college dropouts. This means that 98% of billionaires have some level of college experience, and 84% earned at least a bachelor's degree. Would you be shocked to find out that 49% of billionaires hold postgraduate degrees? Yes, they do. In fact, 6% have a PhD and 2% have an MD. And when comparing where they got their education, 33% got their undergraduate education from Ivy League schools. But we should know that even those who did not go to Ivy League schools, a lot of them went to what would be considered top colleges. For example, Michael Bloomberg got his bachelor's degree at Johns Hopkins University. Johns Hopkins is no Ivy League, but it is definitely far from shabby. Other universities such as MIT, Stanford, and Berkeley are considered top schools, even though they're not Ivy League, and they produce billionaires as well. The last part, before we get into my opinions on this, is what did they study? So they went to university. We know that 84% earned their degree and 98% at least have some college experience. So what did they study? Can you take a guess? So I found this study that was focused on the top 50 billionaires, and they found out that 22% had their degree in business administration, 20% had their degrees in economics, 15% in electrical engineering, 11% in computer science, 7% in mathematics, and 4% in law. For example, Jeff Bezos studied electrical engineering at Princeton University. And as stated earlier, Michael Bloomberg studied electrical engineering at Johns Hopkins University and got his master's in business administration from Harvard University. Other billionaires such as Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and Alice Walton have their degrees in economics. So I wanted to compare these degrees to millionaires and see what are the top fields of studies for millionaires. And I found this list which said that the number 1 was engineering, 2 being economics and finance, 3 being politics, 4 mathematics, 5 computer science, 6 law, and 7 MBA. I was actually surprised a medical degree was not included in this. I know doctors, dentists, and surgeons make a ton of money. I don't know why they weren't on this list. I wonder why. So now let's get into my thoughts and opinions. So starting with where I came from of 80% of billionaires did not have their college degree, which we obviously proved that was a lie. Going to college does not mean that you will become a millionaire or a billionaire. However, it is noticeable that on average, a person who goes to college will make over $1 million more in their career than somebody who did not. That is a far cry from $1 billion, but it's still good money. Having gone through our stats, we know that being born white in America increases your chance of being a billionaire, and being born in a rich and upper middle class family increases your chances even more. Of course, this does not mean you're going to be a billionaire if you grew up rich white in America, but the point is it increases your chances compared to everybody else. And being a man gives you more chance compared to a woman. But all in all, you don't have to be a billionaire to live a happy, impactful, fulfilled life. Being a billionaire, of course, opens up a lot of opportunities, and it's a lot of hard work for those who don't inherit their money. But you don't need to be that, and that does not have to be the end goal for you to be happy. You can be happy doing great things around you and finding fulfillment in your life. And to end our video, I am going to the pinnacle of the English language, Urban Dictionary, and get the definition of a billionaire. Here it reads: origin, part of Bill Gates' first name because he's got billions of bucks. And with that, thank you very much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. I post videos twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Come over and find out what we're talking about. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.